The Toronto Raptors lose badly in Game 5. So does this leave them with any hope of winning 2 games in a row and still getting to the Eastern Conference Finals? Let's get into it. So the Toronto Raptors lose, which means all the Celtics fans who disappeared after games 3 and 4 are going to return today to talk about the game. So welcome to Amateur Hour Sports. Yes, the Raptors did get destroyed in game 5. Kind of reminiscent of the way game 1 went, but this is a lot worse in my opinion. This game went so much worse than game 1. For the first time, I really feel like it wasn't the Raptors creating looks and not hitting their shots. This was heavily on the way the Celtics played defense. Whatever worked for the Raptors in games 3 and 4, Brad Stevens figured it out, and he put together a plan to completely nullify everything that the Raptors do positively on the court, whether it be the Raptors defense or whether it be their offense. They got nothing going on offense for basically the entire first half, probably the entire game. And on the defensive standpoint, the Celtics were carving through us at will. They were going at our defense early in the shot clock, not to let us get set up properly on defense. And when we did get set up on defense, I felt that in a lot of situations, Nick Nurse got stuff wrong. It's a rare occasion where you see Nick Nurse get outcoached and he gets stuff wrong, but this was a big occasion for that. Nick Nurse was not on the ball in game 5. Again, the Celtics defense was elite. Daniel Tice looked basically like a defensive player of the year in the first half, getting block after block, not giving us any open threes, not giving us any good looks at the rim. The Raptors as well didn't play well. We know that. But a lot of this is on the way the Celtics played defense. They expertly deployed a defense to take away both the three-point shot and driving to the paint. They seemingly figured out every way that Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, Norman Powell, Pascal Siakam get to the rim. And they weren't giving us any breathing space. Every single possession, they were on 100%. And it was so frustrating to watch how the Raptors could not get a basket. Like the amount of work they would have to put in for the entire 24-second shot clock to even create an opportunity, and for that to be a bad opportunity at the rim, was just demoralizing throughout the game. So big credit to the Celtics for the way they played there. It could be that this poor performance is a lot based on the fact that we didn't use our bench at all in games 3 and 4. Terrence Davis did not touch the court in either of those games. Matt Thomas got limited minutes. We didn't use our bench in games 3 and 4. Kyle Lowry played 40-plus minutes in both games. Fred VanVleet got a ton of minutes. So did Pascal Siakam. Basically, all our starters minus Marc Gasol were just constantly on the court. And for that, when you only get 1 day in between games every single time, the Raptors looked like they were absolutely gassed. And it's weird that a team known for their bench struggles so much with having guys fully fit to play these games. I mean, we're known for a bench. Why are we not using it more often? Did we need to play those starters for that many minutes in games 3 and 4 to come out with the win? Part of me says yes, we did need those starters to play all those minutes to come out and get 2-2 in the series. But when we get to game 5, those guys are gassed. And you saw it late in the first half. Those guys were absolutely gassed on the court. Now what do? When you don't have guys fit to play, you need to utilize your bench a little bit more if you want to have any hope of coming out, because they still have to play the game 5. I'm hoping that in the second half, when it got, basically the entire second half was garbage time. When it got to that point, I'm hoping our starters got some good rest and can come out firing in game 6. A lot of work needs to be done in the lab for this game, because you got to figure out what the Celtics did that completely stumped your ability to create a shot on offense, because the Celtics gave us absolutely nothing for the entire game. You need to have a proper defensive setup, because when the Celtics go at you immediately in the shot clock, because when you're missing shots, they run a full court offense. The Raptors were really struggling to defend those. we weren't hitting any baskets, so every single possession for the Celtics was basically a full court offense, a fast break situation, and the Raptors couldn't set up the defensive schematics that they wanted to in order to combat that. In most games throughout the series, even though Pascal Siakam has been very poor on offense, he has still been a great contributor all over the rest of the court. His plus minus has still been pretty good. He's been playing good defense, getting in good positions, stopping plays, just being a proper player on the court. But in this game, Game 5, that was no longer the case. Pascal Siakam significantly struggled to make any impact on either side of the court, especially on defense. He was just getting outrun to the rim way too frequently for a guy of his speed, of his size, of his length. He was letting easy layups go past him consistently. If that happens to Marc Gasol, it happens. He's very slow. That should not be happening to Pascal Siakam. He was simply getting outworked all over the court. A lot of the Raptors were getting outworked all over the court. And when we were starting to struggle on offense, when it was still within 14 early in the second quarter, everybody was trying to be the hero. Like Fred VanVleet was not passing the ball, keeping the ball for over half of the shot clock, trying to create something for himself or just forcing something upon somebody else, and it was not working. People were just trying to drive and get to the rim, but the Celtics were closing out fantastically there and were cutting out the passing lanes. They were kind of swarming. Like if Kyle Lowry went to the basket, they would swarm around him so that he could not only get his layup, but he could not kick it out. And that was highlighted by one of the plays in the first half where he went for the kick out and the pass got intercepted by Jason Tatum above his head. The Celtics have figured out the way we play offense, and they completely put a stop to it. And the big players who needed to get us out of it, Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, they were not there on offense. Like Pascal Siakam is going to be on a max contract very soon, and he only put up 10 points. He played almost 30 minutes, and he put up 10 points. That is not good enough. The Raptors were not good enough everywhere around the court, and the Celtics were absolutely elite all over the court. They completely showed out. They completely embarrassed the Raptors on the court, and they have all the momentum now. They're up 3-2. They need one of the next two. Is there hope that the Raptors can come out of this series winning 2 games in a row? Well, absolutely. They've already won 2 games in a row in this series, so surely they can do it again. Did they give up their momentum? Absolutely, but the Celtics also took away our momentum from the Game 5 game, so why can't the Raptors take away the Celtics' momentum? The Raptors need to figure out how to get past that Celtics defense, how to combat the way they deployed that defense. And I think that the coach of the year can certainly figure out a way for the Raptors to get their points a lot more easily than they did in Game 5. The odds are heavily stacked against them. We saw before the game that 82% of the time in a 2-2 series, the team that wins Game 5 progresses on to the next round. But the Raptors turned over, it's 7% that teams lose the first 2 games and get out of the series. And the Raptors did that last year, and they will have to do that if they want to progress this year, having lost the first 2 games of this series. So absolutely, the Raptors have had odds stacked against them all over the board, all over throughout their history. So why can't they go out and win the next 2 games? The odds are stacked against them, and personally, the way the Celtics played there, and they have been playing throughout the series, I'm not sure if the Celtics are going to give up 2 games in a row when they have the Raptors at the brink. But absolutely, if any team can do it, this Raptors team is the one that can get it done. I await excitedly for Game 6. You win that, it's still a 50-50 in Game 7. But that's what you have to get to. Put this game behind you. It's an embarrassing loss, and it's going to be tough to get over, but you got to put it behind you and move forward and have a much better Game 6 on Wednesday, because now the season is actually on the line, because Game 3 sure was on the line because you'd go on 3-0, but this is lose and go home territory for the defending NBA champions. I think they're going to come out strong. They're going to come out firing, come out hungry to win Game 6. And if they don't, I have a lot of questions to ask this team. The biggest thing for the Raptors is they need a quick start. When they have that slow start like they did in Game 5, like they did in Game 1, it just sends that ramification all the way throughout the game. They never recover. And It's so weird that they feel a need that when they're down, they need to come back immediately. If you're down by a lot after the first quarter, you have 3 more quarters to slowly work your way back into the game. But the Raptors try to have it tied up by halftime. And when it's not getting close, all the heads start to drop, they get demoralized, and it just gets piled on and on and on by the Celtics. Come out with a good start, because if you're really going to have that horrible mentality when you go down, you need to not let it happen. Come out firing. Get Siakam the ball, get him rolling, get Kyle Lowry the ball, get him in the paint, get him rolling. That is what is needed to come out of Game 6 on top. So any of you, do you guys think the Raptors still have it in them to come out of this series and win in 7? I said this series was going to go the distance of 6 or 7 games. I felt like the Raptors were going to be the ones to come out on top, but it's looking increasingly likely that it will be the Celtics, though. Do not count out this Toronto Raptors team. And I know the proper Celtics fans will understand that this Raptors team is the real deal and they can still get it done. And the real Raptors fans will understand that the Celtics are in the absolute driver's seat here. But thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you like, and subscribe to Amateur Hour Sports for more content just like this. As well, hit that notification bell. Post 4 times a week on the channel. This week we did Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Next video will be Thursday after Game 6. Hopefully it is to celebrate the fact that there is a Game 7. At the end of the day, I believe what I say. If you disagree, that is okay. We'll see you again next time.